I was walking down the street when I first noticed him. He was just a stranger, standing on the opposite sidewalk, but there was something about the way he was looking at me that made me feel uneasy. It was like he was staring right into my soul, trying to figure out my every thought and feeling. I quickened my pace and tried to put as much distance between us as possible, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he was still watching me. Days passed, and I couldn't stop thinking about the stranger and his intense gaze. And then, one day, I ran into him. It was at a coffee shop, and he was sitting at a table near the window, his eyes fixed on me as I walked in. I hesitated, but then I gathered the courage to approach him. "Excuse me," I said, trying to sound confident. "But I couldn't help but notice you've been following me." He didn't answer right away, instead taking a sip of his coffee before finally speaking. "I haven't been following you," he said. "But I couldn't help but be drawn to you." We started talking, and I was surprised to find that he was actually quite charming. He told me about his life, his interests, and his hopes and dreams. And as we spoke, I found that I couldn't help but be drawn to him. There was something about the way he looked at me like he was seeing me for who I truly was, that made me feel like I could trust him with anything. We agreed to go on a date, and I was nervous and excited all at the same time. I didn't know what to expect, but I was hoping that this would be the start of something special. The date went better than I could have ever imagined. We talked and laughed, and I felt like I was finally able to be myself around someone. As the night came to an end, he took my hand and looked into my eyes. "I think I'm falling in love with you," he said. It was all too good to be true. The next day, I received a call from a close friend, informing me that the man I had fallen for was actually a con artist with a history of tricking and manipulating women. I was devastated. How could I have been so foolish? I confronted him, and at first, he tried to deny it. But eventually, he broke down and told me the truth. He explained that he had fallen for me, that he had never felt this way before, and that he wanted to make things right. But it was too little, too late. The damage was done, and I couldn't bring myself to trust him again. I tried to move on, to forget about him and what could have been, but the pain of his betrayal was always there, haunting me. After the revelation, I went through a tough period of healing and self-discovery. I had to face the fact that I had been blinded by love, that I had let my guard down and let someone take advantage of me. But with the support of my friends and family, I slowly started to rebuild my life. Through this experience, I learned a valuable lesson about the meaning of true love. I realized that it wasn't about grand gestures or false promises, but about honesty, trust, and respect. I learned that a person who truly loves you will never deceive you or make you feel less than you are. They will always be there for you, through the good times and the bad, and they will always respect your boundaries and treat you with the dignity and love you deserve. Years passed, and I had all but forgotten about the man who had once broken my heart. I had moved on with my life, built a successful career, and found happiness in the love of my friends and family. But then, one day, I received a phone call. It was him. He was calling to apologize, to tell me that he had changed and that he wanted to make amends. I was shocked and hesitant, but something in his voice made me listen. We met, and as I looked into his eyes, I saw something different. I saw a man who was truly remorseful, who had taken responsibility for his actions, and was working to better himself. And as we talked, I realized that I still had feelings for him. The unexpected twist was that, despite all that had happened, despite the pain and the betrayal, I was still in love with the man who had once broken my heart. And as I looked into his eyes, I knew that this time, our love was real and true. Thank you for listening. While this narrative is only a fictionalized version of an event, we hope you found it entertaining. Please consider liking the video and do subscribe for more interesting and intriguing stories from me. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and know that you are appreciated.